The 30th edition of the African Mining Indaba continues in Cape Town today. President Cyril Ramaphosa opened the Indaba saying South Africa's mining industry had undergone a major transformation, with black ownership rising from 2% to 39% over the past 20 years. But for more on this story, let's cross over to our reporter Katlego Lehodi. Katlego, it's day 2. Talk to us, what to expect today. And of course, I imagine yesterday being quite a good day and a big day, with many wanting to just put this mining agenda right at the top and demand at an all-time high once again.
Well, a very good morning to you, Leanne, and to our viewers at home. You're quite right. Yesterday was a very busy day when you look at the activities that were happening here at the Cape Town International Convention Centre. And this is where we saw some of those pronouncements and just a step in terms of where we are right now as a country and as a continent from 3 heads of states, that being that of Zambia. We saw President Cyril Ramaphosa as well being one of those that gave a keynote address here. And we also have some of those delegates coming through from the continent into South Africa to form part of this particular, Indaba. And when you look at it, Leanne, it's very, very important because it's marking 30 years later in terms of where this particular entity, the Mining Indaba, finds itself really still pushing for investments into this particular sector to ensure that some of these facilities, some of these mining companies are cushioned in terms of making sure that they thrive and they support the economies of this nation. So we see a lot of commitments coming from some of those that are here, agility as well in terms of how they can rope in technology to ensure that they're all not left behind, how they can facilitate financing of some of these institutions to ensure that they too get the best out of this particular sector. Also a frank talk from those that are here, Leanne, to say it's really, really been a slow pace in terms of transformation, where then these mining companies and the economies would want to see this particular sector. Here in South Africa, we have the mining sector contributing about 7.5 to the country's GDP. Would like to really see more where that is concerned. Would like to see jobs created in this particular regard. But then there are a whole lot of entities that are here, big corporations, small corporations, budding miners, as well as young miners that will also not want to be left behind. And I'm going to bring into the conversation this morning the Development Bank of Southern Africa. They are a sponsor here and a critical entity in terms of making sure that there's funding for infrastructure. We know very well that really you're looking at positioning yourself and supporting municipalities as well. Tumelo Musako is our guest this morning. A very good morning to you. Welcome to the SABC. Tumelo, maybe just start us off and let us in on why it's important for the Development Bank of Southern Africa to form part of this Indaba here.
Good morning, Katlego, and good morning to the listeners as well. As a development finance institution that supports Sub-Saharan Africa, it is critical for us to be here because we provide an enabling environment to foster growth in this sector. We provide that through investment in infrastructure, and critical infrastructure that is required for mining growth is infrastructure in energy, logistics, and water and digital infrastructure as well. So as a bank, that is where we play a critical role, enabling infrastructure to foster growth in this sector. The key sector that we support is our municipalities. Our municipalities provide basic services, and through our partner with a district model that we have adopted to accelerate infrastructure development in municipalities, we are able, as DBSA, to plan for infrastructure, to prepare projects, to even fund various projects together with the municipality so that they can create that enabling environment for mining to grow in their respective munis, for the necessary jobs to also be created. We see this as an opportunity for municipalities to have that competitive advantage by creating that environment to foster growth in mining.
I mean, it's an entire value chain. Yes. When you look at it with Tumelo, in terms of where we find ourselves, and you'd find mining companies also saying that they need to ensure that they are also on the same page with municipalities in terms of the infrastructure development drive that would see their mines flourish in this particular space. What have you picked up as a challenge where the rolling out of these funds is concerned? And do you then see most municipalities approaching your entity to say that really we need you to help us here as we are inundated with calls from mining companies in terms of making sure that there's a conducive environment for them to thrive in?
Yeah, definitely. And what we see that actually works very well, Katleho, is willing coalitions and partnerships, because the partnership that we have adopted has actually proven powerful in that in the engagements around the planning and the preparation and the funding of these projects, you have the municipality in the room, you have the mining companies in the room, you have civil society in the room, and that is the role that we play as a DFI by offering, exercising our convening power to get all of these players in one room, so that we can really get these projects on the ground.
And just before I let you go, Bitumelo, I know we pulled you out of a breakfast session that you guys are hosting here, looking at ensuring that you solidify some of those partnerships. What can we look forward to in the coming days where DBSA is concerned, maybe starting with this breakfast session that you're hosting this morning?
Yes, we will be, engaging with our partners around, because the whole theme around the mining in Indaba, it's, technology disruption, and it's just to break it down on what it means, and most importantly what it means to the opportunity of critical minerals in the region. This Indaba, the 30-year celebration, is really timely for us to reflect and really see how we're going to act and take advantage of the opportunity as a region, of critical minerals. Critical minerals mining must definitely, benefit the people of this region and foster economic growth in the region. So it is a great opportunity in prospering Africa.
Awesome. Bitumelo, everything of the best. Thank you very much for giving us your time this morning. Coming to us as the CEO of the Development Bank of Southern Africa, you can tell that there's a lot of agility here on the ground in terms of how then most of these entities, including government, are positioning themselves for these partnerships. They're looking at sustainable development of this sector, Lee, and would see also later on today the Deputy President, Paul Mashatile, on the ground engaging with young miners. There's a fund that government has also set up to ensure that there's support in this sector, and we'll be looking at some of those side sessions like what the DBSA is having this morning, breakfast sessions, but most of these delegates starting to arrive here at the Indaba for day 2 of this occasion.